Okay guys, so welcome back to the channel. It's the end of calendar week 12 in 2025. Um, it's the 19th of March, 22nd of March. And European Asian markets have closed for today. US markets are still open. And we'll just take a look at what's gone on pretty much this week across Asia. And we'll just use some of the Western markets to give us context pretty much of how the week has gone. The chop, so to speak, hasn't stopped. Very choppy week. And if the US S&P closes as of now, it should be marginally up by 0.18%. I think this week we saw less volatility than we have done in previous weeks, but nevertheless it was quite of a choppy and volatile market nevertheless. So yeah, thankfully VIX is coming down overall. We did see some big announcements. Jerome Powell spoke this week. Looks like they're holding steady in terms of the interest rates. Just no cuts, 2 expected this year. So just going into trading view to see what the outcome was. Yeah, the interest rate 4.5. So effectively no change. So yeah, nothing in terms of major catalysts out of the US this week. Nothing from the interest rates that has led us to think anything new, anything different. In terms of the overall markets, we'll start off with Thailand, then go into Singapore and Japan. So in Thailand, some interesting headlines coming up. The newspapers, well, let's just get into a quick summary of how the market week ended. The trading day was down overall. And okay, great. So trading view doesn't give us 5 days, but it does for the US. Okay, so let's see if we can just zoom over to the set. Let's zero in on the set index for Thailand. And let's see how it's done. So forgive me, for some reason Adidas, On Holding and Lululemon were there. Must have been doing some research. Possibly comparing them against Nike. Anyway, so what's been happening with the Thai market is up this week. So the Thai market finishes in the green. So almost a percentage point up for this week. But yeah, quite a choppy on the day itself. 0.41 point and almost 1% up in the week. So yeah, we'll get into the headlines. Some interesting headlines. PTT, biggest mover here. One of the biggest movers, along with Delta. So I think they're pretty much the first and the second largest cap. There you go, first and second largest cap companies in Thailand. One being energy for PTT, Delta Electronics. I believe they're a subsidiary of the Taiwanese Delta Electronics. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But regardless, they're two of the largest cap um, companies in the Thai stock market. Yeah, so they've had positive moves, both up 3% on the day. Let's just look at some of the top gainers, top losers. So Market Connections Asia, PCL, Global Green Chemicals, Shrinkflex, Interpharma. And in terms of the flip side, we've got Kerry Express, which was moving up. Now it's moved down. It seems to be quite volatile. And a handful of other companies there. So I'll skim through all this quickly, guys. I think there's some interesting news about PTT, which we can talk about. Which could be a major catalyst. Not explaining that 3% move, but part of the narrative for its ongoing trajectory. So we have some talk about Thailand Chart Capital's growth. Earnings likely to grow 7%. Delta Electronics, Thailand. Earnings likely to be impacted by the cost structure. S&P upgrades to Krung Thai Bank to BBB on financial profile, which I think will be a boost for the financial stocks in Thailand. Bangkok Airways, we already covered that. They're on the market for 30 new jets, pretty much to upgrade their existing fleet and to expand. Yeah, they've noted an increase in flights to and from Koh Samui, given the extra demand. And yeah, as I've been outspokenly bullish on that company, so I won't get into that in too much more detail. Thai construction sector set for modest growth. Okay, so that's positive for the construction sector. I think I did mention like housing starts, building permits. And CPO's decision not to invest in Seven and I Holdings eases investor worries. So I wasn't aware of this. Let's dig into this a bit. CPO's decision not to invest in Japan, Seven and I Holdings. I do believe that's 7-Eleven in Japan, guys. Years to load. Okay. So here's an infographic of their holdings. So inception, pretty much they had 3 businesses. Now you can see that they've expanded significantly into all types of units. So I won't get into all of that, but that's quite expansive. Interesting. So Japan is fascinating, guys. They've got so much going on in the economy, so many interesting companies. I'm a bit of a company nerd, guys. I do have an MBA. I studied e-commerce too. When I saw what was happening with the internet, I knew I wanted to be part of it. But I just love companies, guys. Which is why I like investing too. Alright, so quite an interesting story here. We pursue excellence in providing distribution and retail services that meet the changing needs of our customers by supporting customers at all stages of life. Okay, that's cool. I love these mission statements that actually resonate, and the company that ties everything together. It's the sign of a well-run, focused company. So many companies are just throwing mud at the wall. Okay, this is interesting. So anyway, back to the headlines, guys. What's going on here is that CPO have decided not to invest in Japan 7 and I holdings. So investors were worried that this could undermine the balance sheet and earnings outlook. So Tanachart Securities con Panarai Tia Pitayarut. Apologies guys, I am trying to improve pronunciation of Thai names. The multiple syllables are difficult for me. Apologies. So con Panarai says in a research report, the Thai operator of 7-Eleven convenience store informed the Thai Stock Exchange late last month that it wouldn't participate in the investment in the Japanese retail company. The analyst notes, the brokerage raises its 2025-2027 earnings estimates for CPO by 4-5% per annum, given its 7-Eleven business 4Q results beat expectations. The brokerage raises the stock's target to 66 Thai baht from 63 Thai baht and reaffirms the buy rating. Shares closed 1.5% lower at 49.25 baht on Monday. Okay, so we missed this story, but because it's from earlier in the week, but that's quite interesting. So the other headlines that I wanted to get into. Okay, so there's been a big fire at and Thai Airways have stopped some flights from Heathrow in London. Won't get into that. That's kind of mainstream news. But yeah, PTT. I wanted to get into this, the share buyback from PTT, which is really a positive catalyst because to give you a quick overview of share buybacks, guys, it's when a corporate company and the corporate structure, they buy the shares back. So they're taking outstanding shares off the market. So in this case, PTT. So what does this do? It actually inflates the share price. So several companies have done this, Apple in the States. So it's a strategy that increases the share price. So it readies 16 billion Thai baht for share buyback in 6 months. So the share price is up 3% today, and the markets often price in news ahead of time. So who's to say that 3%? I wouldn't say it is the reason. But let's just zoom in on PTT over the period of time, over the past year or so. So we have seen a massive decrease, but pump. We've almost seen from mid-Feb to now mid or end of March. Excuse me. We're starting to see a V-shaped recovery here in the share price. So let's plug in the set to compare it with the overall Thai stock market. And it's following the same trajectory downwards, unfortunately. But since 10th of March, there's been an uptick. And this news of share buybacks could have a very positive stimulus effect on perhaps growth for the stock. Overall, energy is in the long run a good sector to be in. Let's compare it to Chevron, one of the biggest U.S. energy companies. I'm just curious. So, unfair comparison, but let's just look over time. We'll take out the SET. No, we'll leave the set in. But is this correct, guys? Yes, it is. If you had have invested from the start of 2002 versus Chevron, so whereas Chevron would have given you 300% return, the set would have given you roughly the same, well, 275, 290. So let's not quibble over a couple of percentage points. But pretty much PTT, guys, would have given you a massive return, close to 800%, and at one stage in 2018, that was up to over, yeah, 1,540%. So over the long run, guys, PTT is a massive wealth builder. So again, this is more insights, guys. If we look at the I'm going to try and, yeah, I'm going to put the 200-day moving average. Okay, I'll just stick in any moving average, guys. Okay, that's too busy now. I don't want all of those. I just want actually the 200-day moving average. We'll stick this one in. Okay, I have to delete one. Yes, guys, I don't have the paid account. Alright, so I've just deleted everything. So this is the 200-day moving average. Since year 2000, so the past 25 years effectively. Okay, no, I'll come back to that. Anyway, my point is that it's good investment, like over the long run. And if you compare that to Chevron in the States, you can see the difference. Alright, so PTT, guys. Yep, so PTT ready 16 billion for a share buyback in 6 months. Thai energy giant informs stock exchange decision to buy back 470 million shares over the next 6 months. National oil and gas conglomerate PTT has announced a share buyback program of 470 million shares worth 16 billion baht from March 24th. So starting next week, concluding September 23rd. So Kong Krapan Interrajang, PTC's chief executive and president, so the CEO and president, informed the stock exchange of Thailand of PTT their board decision on Thursday. So yesterday, to buy back the company's shares under the financial management program, treasury stock, effectively. The number of shares to be repurchased is not more than 470 million, which does not exceed 1.65% of all shares sold by means of automatic order matching through SET's trading system. The share buyback period is set at no longer than 6 months. PTT explained the reasons for share buyback as to effectively manage the company's excess liquidity, increase return on equity and net profit per share, and build confidence among investors and shareholders. about the company's strong financial status and profit-making capability. And yeah, I would agree that's a good move to boost the share price and boost shareholder confidence ultimately. Well, not ultimately, but coincidentally. Ultimately, it's about increasing shareholder value. Okay, so I wanted to get PTT, the financials in Yahoo Finance, because I like the format that they have. So yeah, in Google, they show them month by. I don't want to see month by month. To be honest, I want to see a yearly, easy. I don't want to dig into PDFs, arbitrarily, or just like. I like to see it all aligned neatly, side by side. And Yahoo Finance does a good job of this. So just looking on the right hand side there, guys, the market's creeping up, possibly to a positive end for the Friday. Okay, anyway, PTT. This is all in BAT, so the numbers are huge. Yeah, year on year, just looking at the revenue. Slightly concerning is that the past 3 years revenues are come down. There is a big jump up from 2021 but the past 3 years revenue is coming down. EPS is in flux. It's up, down, up, down. And the operating income is also inconsistent. It's all positive, but it's inconsistent. I.e., it's not consistently increasing. It's slightly yo-yoing. It's going up, it's going down, it's going up, which is not ideal. As a shareholder, you want consistency and certainty as much as possible. That said, I'm just taking a look at Chevron. I mean, it's highly correlated with the price of oil, and the price of oil was up, was down, going up today. Let's just take a quick zoom in to emphasize that point. So in 2022, the price of oil, crude oil, peaked over the past 5 years, and you can see it's gradually coming down. And with Trump's drill baby drill, there probably is a dig baby dig somewhere. That's going to even further drop the price of oil and commodities, probably. If we look at the range of like the probable outcomes, it's going to probably decrease. Anyway, so PTT, guys, for as an investment to take advantage of energy exposure in Thailand, Southeast Asia. This is a top company to do so. You can see in to date this week up 10%, month nothing stellar. The past 1 to 2 years negative. Is this a buying opportunity? Share buybacks aggressively being planned. 1.67% of all outstanding shares. As a counter to that, oil price could come down. Drill, baby, drill. But you know, this stock has gone. Yeah, it's been. I hate using like the animal terminologies, you know, beaten down dog, etc., because it's not a dog, but it's beaten down. So yeah, I think, you know, let's look at the financials again through the trading view lens. Net margin really decreasing. Net income is, like I said, like a yo-yo. How have they done with earnings beats? So first 2 quarters of 24 they outperformed. Positive surprises, then negative, which is not always good, because in finance a surprise, whether it's negative or positive, has consequences for other functions. So it means your risk management has not been performing as well as it could have. So 2 misses there, guys, most recently. Revenue misses and earnings misses. So they've been underestimating their capabilities to come in earnings, and then overestimating. I think I'm quite excuse me. Well, you have to factor in the dividend. So they haven't been consistently growing. Okay, I'm not sure if this is the right one. This is a good website for looking at dividend growth, but it's not always accurate with some of the emerging market stocks, frontier markets. So dividend has been, well, it fell off. I don't know the reason why it fell off a cliff in 2018, but it was getting nice growth. Not exactly an aristocrat, but quite decent dividend there. So 5% dividend. The dividend yield is 5. That's good. So guys, that is very interesting opportunity. So catalyst there, positive catalyst of share buybacks, which will boost shareholder confidence and most likely pump up the price. It's at a 2-year low, or it's more or less at a since 2023. It's been on a decline, like we've looked at with the Thai stock market too. -20 Let's see if we can get it right from the top in 2023, not 2024. So just how much would you have lost if you've invested at the top? So actually from 2018 at its peak, you would have lost almost 50%. So guys, it's that's not a positive trend. This is down minus 50%. Until most recently, that's been down 50% from its tops. So as a shareholder, if you got in at the top there, you would not be, you're not happy, right? You're just not happy with your kind of 5-year performance. And that's just unfortunate sometimes. But I think if you look at the overall history of the stock and you take out some of these outliers, I think 2018 was very much an outlier, as was the pandemic period. And as they say, everything reverts to the mean. I think that the average price where the stock should be trading at as well, this looks undervalued. I won't get into the PE ratios and the valuation. Just let's just dig up the RSI. Oh, I clicked on it twice. Why did that other chart come up? So I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'll speed up. Just the end of the week. It's been a busy week. I've just finished the gym. There's some PMI just floating in the air. It's been hard to breathe. I don't know if it's my chest. I've done a lot of bench presses. But when I'm living in Asia, when the PM kicks off, I find it very difficult to breathe. Well, wherever I'm living, in my own country, in any country, when the PMI kicks off, unfortunately, I'm very sensitive to this. So anyway, guys, the RSI is not, well, in early March, it was heavily oversold. It's still below the midpoint in terms of 50. Typically in RSI, if it goes above 20, below 20, it's a sign of being overbought, oversold. So it's pretty much halfway between being oversold. But I think if you look at a longer term horizon, it's definitely one, if you're bullish on energy. Depends on the, I think we all need energy. I think this could be an interesting one, guys. Dividend yield of over 5%. If you're into, dividend investing, if you're using that as a strategy, then this is like, I don't think they've missed a dividend payment. So it's a good company. Okay, guys, we spent a lot of time on this. I think we're just getting in. This is like the 5th video that I've produced of the investing in Asia. It's quite interesting to dig into all of this. If you're interested, it's just the weekend here, so spending a bit more time on this than I would normally do. So okay, Thai bad debt soars to all-time highs. So we were looking at some of the macro picture for Thailand, and I still am quite positive, but there are some other, when you do further research and you dig into the economy, there's things like this. When you look back to the global financial crisis and the mortgage debts, If you were looking at the chart, you would have seen they were creeping up. So this is one of those indicators which I might try and take a look at. So Thai baht debt soars to all-time high of 1.23 trillion. Wow, 1.23 trillion. Baht, the B I think is for baht, Thai baht, but still that is trillion, so quite big. So non-performing loan figure for Thai households up 25% from end of 2022. So consumer debt, does this, so consumer debt is extremely important, and this could be a sign of something rotten in the economy. There's a lot of positive things, but this could be something to watch on the horizon that undermines the economic progress. So bad household debt in Thailand has risen by 25% since the year end 2022, reaching a record high of 1.23 trillion baht as of January this year, according to the National Credit Bureau. Outstanding non-performing loans in the household sector are expected to rise again at the end of 2022. So this is it's the same in a lot of economies, guys, but also Thailand is very consumer. There's a lot of consumer retail activity, and yeah, they give credit, they extend credit, which is sad because a lot of people get into debt traps, and it just becomes just a spiral for them, and it's really sad. So this is like reflecting overall at a high level. He said borrowers classified as NPLs because of the effects of the pandemic. NPLs are non-performing loans because of the effects of the pandemic. So some suggestions of bad debt would be purchased from banks, with debtors given more time to pay it off. As of January, total outstanding consumer loans were worth 13.6 trillion baht, declining. Sorry, baht, Thai baht, not bath, like going for a bath in English. Baht. Apologies, guys. Contracting, okay. So total loans were 13.6 trillion baht, declining by 0.3% month on month and 0.5% year on year. House loans amounted to 5.12 trillion baht, down but up year on year. Credit card loans were 571 billion baht, decreasing month on month and 0.8% from a year earlier. Okay, some of that is positive. Personal loans are up though, so year on year some of that seems positive. Let's dig into trading economics quickly to see if we can get some consumer debt rates, retail sales, gasoline, disposable, personal consumer spending, consumer credit. Okay, yeah, but you've also got loan growth under money. Climate. Guys, I think, sorry, I'm just thinking out loud here, but I really think they should put the the P, the other measures, the PMI, not the CO2. They should put PMI, like PMI1, PM1, PM10, all of that. They should put that in under climate here. All right, I want to look at the loans, similar to what was referred to in the article. So let's look at consumer credit first, and then we'll look at the bank loans in Thailand. So I want to know if this crisis is as big as. So in the paper, the Thai bad debt soars to all-time high. I'm looking for that in trading economics, the bad debt. This might not be available. In trading economics. Okay, so this is consumer credit. Let's see the bank lending. No, I want to see the bank loans, the loan growth in Thailand. Okay, it's not. Is it here? It's not here. So what have we got for Thailand? Let's see. So, okay, this is just the overview. So let's see, consumer, bank lending rate, consumer credit, personal savings, consumer spending. So let's see the bank lending rate. Actually, that's not telling us anything. The lending is going up, but it's been pulled down. But nothing about bad debt really. Unfortunately, consumer credit. We've just looked at that. It's basically contracting. All right, guys. Let's just take it. Well, I shouldn't say that, but let's just take it as truth that the article. I mean, why would they mislead? Thai bad debt. I like charts, guys. I'm looking for a chart. Okay, guys. So overall, bad debt seems to be something that is something rotten in the state of Denmark. As Shakespeare would write. That's something to keep an eye on for like your investments in Thailand. Bad debt is something that could just derail things. I'm personally not that not that bearish, but it's good to look at these things. All right, let's quickly move on to some other things. Okay, we won't get into this. Exports up, beating forecast. Okay, well done, Thailand. Some merger rumors about banks. Okay, Thailand may yet embark on region's most aggressive rate cuts. So the rates, I believe, are already declining. Why is my internet so slow, guys? I'm not even using a VPN. Everything's slow. Alright, so it looks like this is like when the internet first started. You're so excited to read a page from GeoCities, from Yahoo or something. And the modem would make some strange noises as it happened. Alright, so yeah, it looks like rates have already been pushed high. So looks like they're in for some aggressive rate cutting in Thailand. Inflation is coming down. You need to be careful not to maybe too much aggression will push up the inflation again. But let's read this before we jump to conclusions. Thailand may yet embark on region's most aggressive rate cuts. The Bank of Taiwan, people crossing the road has nothing got to do with rate cuts. The fading tourism boom. There is no fading tourism boom. They have record numbers of tourists. It's just like been called the White Lotus effect in Koh Samui. Okay, Bank of Thailand. Okay, anyway, guys, I think people are just not thinking through things when they're sticking up photographs. So anyway, the Bank of Thailand, which has long resisted interest rate cuts despite immense political pressure, may end up having to embark on the region's most aggressive easing cycle as sluggish economy takes a turn for the worst. For the worse, according to analysts, the central bank may need to deliver as much as 100 basis points in rate cuts over the next year. Thailand is not only the laggard in the post-pandemic recovery, it is also among the most vulnerable to increased global trade protectionism. Nomura economist Jarnan Bunut said, We think the Bank of Thailand is increasingly concerned about the weakening growth outlook and is no longer pushing back strongly against more rate cuts. The urgency comes as Southeast Asia's second largest economy faces even greater headwinds as Donald Trump's trade war escalates and the tourism boom fades. That adds to long-standing problems. An ailing manufacturing economy, mounting household debt and sluggish consumption have kept growth rates averaging below 2% over the last decade. Tourism is sluggish, but I don't think it is. Record-breaking tourist traffic, 40 million tourists. More bang for your bat. That's a good one. Already the world's most popular tourist destination. Alright guys, I want to see where the 40 million is. Where is the 40 million? Okay, tourism arrivals. So guys, I'm just trying to calculate if this is 3. It is 3 million. Okay. So about 20 million. If Alright, so they're looking for 40 million, but the projection is 20 million. Okay, so that's fair enough. It has not reached pre-pandemic or pre-pandemic levels. So that's fair enough. Okay, so guys, spending a long time. So let's try to wrap this one up. So bullish things in Thailand. PTT is a plus. I think there was one other. So I need to look at the debt levels in Thailand, guys. Household debt seems to be something on the horizon that's potentially negative for their economy. And some news here about the EV market. So Nielsen IQ revealed survey results. Tesla leads in technology, driving enjoyment and comfort, winning the hearts of Thai EV owners with the highest satisfaction scores. Okay, no real surprises that Tesla has done what it does everywhere in the world, globally. It plays into the whole narrative of the erosion of the industrial base of automotive manufacturers, given the Tesla lead there. So that just that's another headwind for the industrial automotive sector. All right, let's move over to the Bangkok Post, guys. What's going on? Thailand, according to the Bangkok Post. Well, we were here. We talked about the bad debt. We talked about some other things. I wanted to look at this CPN story. The investment of 120 billion baht in new malls. Does Thailand need more malls? Apparently it does. So Central Patana PLC is allocating 120 billion baht for 5-year investment strategy that includes the launch of new malls in Bangkok, Nonthaburi and Khon Kaen. Konwalaya Chirativat, president and chief executive of CPN, said the budget is the budget is part of the company's 25-29 investment plan. She said the retail projects poised for launch in 2025 include the Marketplace Teprak Community Mall, set to open March 28, followed by the Central Park and Central Park offices in August and Central Krabi in October. Well, that's interesting. Last time I was in Krabi, it's small. I didn't see any malls there, guys, so that might be interesting for Krabi. Well, it's quite expansionary. So let's take a quick look at CPN. CPN has continued to expand its portfolio and market presence with major projects in notable areas such as Rama 1, Rama 10 and Plunchit. So Plunchit is very upmarket area in central Bangkok. Rama 9. My Roman numerals are a bit rusty. The Central is designed as a mixed-use project located on 49 Rai in the Phahonyotin area with a retail space of 460 square meters. Said Kunjanavat Uawatan Nasakul. Sorry guys, a lot of syllables for me. Alright, anyway, long story short, CPN are doing a lot of investment. And CPN, let's take a look at the largest market cap in Thailand. So CPN here are $6.65 billion market cap. One of the top 20 companies in Thailand based on this. Since 2025, they've really progressed overall. Guys, get rid of some of these tabs. There's too many. Alright guys, my internet is not mine, but the internet in here is so slow today. Okay, it's still thinking. Okay guys, so I've just moved to the my mobile network. Which is not any faster. Alright guys, this is a bit disappointing. Internet is letting us down. Okay guys, we're back. Taking a look at Central Patana, CPN here, which is in number 17 in terms of the largest market cap Thai companies, and we've compared the performance here against the overall set index for Thailand, and it's more or less kind of in lockstep with the Thai market, slightly performing slightly better. But as an investment, CPN is very interesting because they have strategic units, retail units across Thailand that are highly trafficked. And if you look at before the pandemic, business was booming and the share price was exceptional. You can see a clear divergence in the 20 teens. It clearly outperformed the Thai set. Now, I think like some of the articles are highlighting in post-pandemic, I think it's a very fair statement that the Thai economy is yet to really recover from the pandemic. So a lot of these properties would have been like just abandoned, lying there. I remember living in Phuket in 2021, and for example, the property, the Central, was just lying there in where was it, Patong, and the place was empty. And this is usually a year later when I was leaving. Then it was highly, there was lots of tourists coming back. So yeah, this is one. It's on a road to recovery, guys, and I think this is a very strong company with strong properties, retail properties across Thailand. So if you recall what we were talking about with CPO and their ownership of 7-Elevens, pretty much CPN, Central Patana Group, public, they own like the high-end Central stores, which is high-end groceries, high-end department stores. So this is a very interesting company too, guys. So anyway, kind of in the theme of kind of retailing stocks, guys, these companies are on the cheap. If I'm honest, you're getting some prime retail stocks, or and prime companies here, really trading cheap. Anyway, not investing advice, but just this is giving you an idea of like the landscape in Thailand in terms of kind of retail trading investments. And this would be a very interesting company to have a share in. So anyway, guys, we've been very long today, taking the time. I think I'm wrecked. It's late here, and it's been. Oh wow! I was talking about PM2 levels. They're rising in Bangkok. No surprise. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's just getting distracted looking at some of the other news there. So I think, yeah, my narrative on Thailand remains the same, bullish. In short, um, some sectors will take a bit more time and need different stimulus. Like you can see in the articles here, there's different areas of the ministries in Thailand working with different like financial institutions, funds, with industry to stimulate various sectors, be it in banking, in energy, like we saw the share buybacks with PTT. So yeah, there's lots going on there to reinvigorate the Thai economy to get it back pre-pandemic levels. I personally am very confident that they will do that, having lived there and seen how kind of industrious the Thailand is. Some people might have the perception of, the beach and all of that, but they are extremely industrious and hardworking. When you go to the cities, people are, up 5 or 6 a.m. And that's my personal impression. I can see it. I can also see it in the way the companies are run. I think the corporate governance is quite strong. Yeah, so as an investor, looking at opportunities in the Thai market, it's all about patience, guys. Investing is about patience. Trading is not. Investing is. So if you do have the patience, Thailand is is very interesting. So anyway, guys, let's move on. We spent way too much time just looking at this, but it has been fascinating. So we'll move on to Singapore. What's going on in Singapore this week? I had been waxing lyrical on Grab and C Limited and C Unlimited. So let's just refresh this, see how the week ended in Singapore, and yeah, I'll try to be a bit more balanced. Because it's obvious I get quite excited about those two companies. Yeah, so the ending on a positive today. Overall, the week in negative. We've got the banks here all slightly negative. UOB up, and the telecom giant Singtel up. But I don't like that chart, guys, because it doesn't give me the 5-day that I want. So let's go to the STI index. Take out any comparisons that I may have included. So this is just a quirk of TradingView. It will include any previous settings you've had. So anyway, the last 5 days. Okay, slightly frustrating. The other charts at 5 days. This is giving me year to date and nothing about last 5 days. And then the set is there again when I'd already removed it. So let's do a custom range. Great. So okay, so the set is up, or the STI is up by almost 2%, 1.84% on the week. I did complain about the lack of news. Well, that was for Japan. They have it for Singapore. So what is TradingView aggregating for us here in Singapore? So nothing massive. So the Heathrow. Okay, Heathrow's come up because of the fire. Obviously, huge connectivity there with Singapore. What to know about airlines? Okay. Singapore shares edge lower. Tracking regional losses. Market talk. Okay, so what were the gainers and losers? So up, whoa, you got some 40% moves. Union Steel up 10%. So no big names, guys. ST Engineering actually is huge. They're down minus 4%. But there you go, it's number 7 on the largest market cap companies in Singapore. Just thought I'd show that. Okay, where's it gone now? So what's going on with ST Engineering? So the growth outlook appears upbeat. Why is it down 4% if it's so upbeat? Steady long-term growth. Upgrades. CGS International adjusts Singapore Technologies and ST Engineering's target price to 740 from 560. So some upgrades. Another upgrade from UOB. Okay, so that's a positive. Lots of so 2 upgrades and positive news, but the share price is down 4%. Okay, that makes no sense. Also, given the fact that the overall STI is up. So yeah, that's a very interesting company there, guys, as well. ST Engineering. Wow, they've really since Feb that's gone off the charts. Literally, if you look at it, it's gone off the charts. Let's compare it to the. Let's just stick in. The overall Straits Times Index. Okay, so yeah, so obviously, yeah. So when you see stocks going a tear, it's yeah. Now I'm starting to see why. Yeah, a bit of a pullback on that. I don't know what the catalyst was there, guys. From Jan Feb. There must have been some massive catalysts. I'll have to look into that for ST Engineering. You see that's just gone off. Let's compare, let's stick in grab and we'll put in some of the bigger banks. We'll put in DBS UOB. So okay, grab not doing great in this. Let me just go through the timelines so it's a bit more, everything's in more perspective. Okay, I don't want UOB on the GetX. Why isn't it in the, I want it on the Singaporean stock exchange. Okay, it's back to these silly alphanumeric names again. Okay, D05 U11SI. Okay, U11SI. Oops, I should never have forgot that. It's so hard to forget. U11 has nothing to do with UOB. Okay, anyway. So there's one of the, yeah, okay. So I've been outspoken before in C Limited. That chart tells the reason why, one of the reasons why, and there's a lot of details behind that chart. Actually, the company's performance, its business units, blah blah blah. Everything I've talked about. Forest Lee's amazing management team, the way they've managed hiking interest rates, lowering interest rates, competition. That's a real success story, guys. I think there probably is good HBS article. There's probably a lot of articles written about that. Um, Actually, I'm not sure there are, and I think it merits a lot more. Anyway, so ST Engineering, interesting here, guys. You see, it's a real trailblazer in the past month. Um, as is Grab, to be fair. Um, since mid-March, Grab is gaining momentum. ST Engineering, I have to dig into what the catalysts were there. Um, Bit of a pullback there, the 4%. So that's where your traders step in. Love all that stuff. But yeah, obviously UOB, steady 80 banking stock, and is doing what a steady 80 does, just coolly and calmly, just growing, outperforming the STI, not outperforming the major like Grab SE, but typically less volatile when the broader markets have issues. Anyway, so let's dig into some of the news. ST Engineering needs to be investigated in terms of catalysts there and what's going on. It's interesting. Let's see what's just coming up in the news. Well, yeah, we did cover that actually. Yeah, the upgrades, lots of upgrades, and bullish outlook. So lots of banks upgrading the price. Strong order book. Okay, commercial. ST Engineering announces decisions by its commercial aviation aero business. I'm trying to understand what the catalyst was for that major spike around mid-February. So more contributions from aerospace and defense business. Okay, share buybacks. So that's another factor that would boost the share price. Securing more contracts. Foreign. Interesting, guys. I might do another video on this. I won't get into it now, but there's a lot of positive news around ST Engineering. So you're getting a lot of contracts, a lot of analyst upgrades, re-rating, strong order book. Okay, so we're going to stick that one on the list. So 15-year contract with Akasa Air, which is one of the latest low-cost airlines in India. So they've won a 15-year MRO contract. Alright guys, we're going to do more of a deep dive on ST engineering. These guys are very interesting. Alright, let's move on. Let's see what's going on with Straits Times. Internet is super slow, guys. As soon as I hit refresh, everything is just thinking. So just looking at the press here, guys, is not the business page. But so impressed with Singapore, very progressive. Singapore setting aside funds to help future generations tackle climate change. Such an innovative country. Progressive. Always thinking ahead. So yeah, just taking a look here at the headlines to see if anything interesting, like for catalysts for the major investing or major companies that okay, when Gen Z stops spending and gets tired of social media trends, they are aware, sometimes painfully, that their insecurities are harnessed for someone else's bottom line. For subscribers, okay, we might not be able to read this. Okay, can't read that. Alright, nothing that's huge. There's some internal stuff there at different levels, executive levels, that I don't really think is that worth getting into. Some scandal stuff. Singapore AI startups can draw funding by developing real world solutions. Okay, unfortunately, more subscriber content. Okay, let's move on to CNA. Okay, nothing major there, guys. Cancellation of flights to Heathrow because of the fire. Okay. Okay, some interesting news, but it's not related to Singapore. Yahoo strikes deal to sell TechCrunch to investment firm. I didn't actually know TechCrunch was owned by Yahoo. They've always been very smart with buying relevant media properties. Anyway, alright, nothing Singapore related, guys. Guys, it's late here. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. Let's take a quick look at Japan. What's going on in Japan? Yeah, I just want to see the business use. So Toyota's new R&D unit signals a sharper India focus. Okay, so good to see some news about the top cap market cap companies in Japan. So Japan and China set for economic talks as U.S. tariff pressures rises. The scale and proximity of the Chinese market means it is in Japan's interest to maintain stable relations despite ongoing tensions. Honhai gets first major EV making client in Mitsubishi Motors. So some progress there on EVs with the Japanese automakers. So let's dig into this one a bit. The Toyota's new R&D unit signals its sharper India focus. Toyota is setting up its first R&D center in India through its local unit. People familiar with the matter said, signaling the market's growing importance. The new R&D facility will begin operations with a team of about 200 people in Bengaluru, near Toyota Kirloskar Motors' existing factory in Baidadi, one of the people said, asking not to be identified because details are private. Okay, they've leaked this then. Obviously, the team will likely be scaled up to around 1,000 engineers by 2027. Okay. So R&D expansion from Toyota in India. Interesting. So a bit more on this. The research facility comes after Toyota last year reorganized India to be the hub of its operations across the Middle East, East Asia and the Oceania region. I wonder how that impacts Thailand, the Thai industry. The focus that is here. And yeah, guys, so let's quickly take a look at how the markets in Japan ended up. Down slightly, the Nikkei. But overall for the week, it's up. And yeah, some of the gainers. I'll refresh this, make sure it's not the previous time. Because a lot of these gainers and losers were similar companies. So some earnings alerts for big companies there. And yeah, like I was complaining about, there's nothing, like no aggregated news for Japan, unfortunately, here. Yeah, and nothing regarding the companies we are focusing on or looking into, like Uniqlo fast retailing. We talked a bit about Toyota there. Nothing major, guys. So gonna wrap this one up, guys. Thanks for listening. A bit of a slow one today, and it's late, and I've had a long week. But if you're still with me, thanks for listening, guys. We had actually not sure if this series is that valuable. Just 9 viewers on the last one, so might have a think about the format. Today was a bit low energy, actually, and I was just talking through some updates here across Thailand, Japan, Singapore. And yeah, sometimes there is nothing major in the news. There was nothing. Yeah, Thailand always something going on, and there's great reporting in the Bangkok Post and the Nation. Singapore, always something going on too, and Japan. I just need to take a look at the news sources for Japan, because Yeah, just it's not as insightful as it could be. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and hope to see you in the next one.